So yesterday I made a videos about the Mono Ice team, but when I actually rewatched the video, all I do is really just nerding about like why Mono Ice team is so strong, but I don't really get into the nitty-gritty of the rotation. And I was like, yeah, maybe I should get into the rotation a bit in the way that people could actually learn. And it's not really rotation, but it's more like a animation cancel tech. And the more you could perform these animation cancel tech, the better you're gonna find success in Mono Ice team. And the other tip is, if you're having problem getting the 3-star in the Deadly Assault, you probably don't use your skill enough or hold on to the ultimate for too long. As long as you keep burning your ultimate and energy, then you should be able to reach that 3-star. Of course, I'm not telling you to use ultimate at 90% days, but you definitely want to use it if the enemy's days is still like 20-30. So let's get started. So we're gonna use this gear, which is Branch and Blade Song on the Soukaku and Miyabi. And yeah, for those who wonder, Branch and Blade Song is a more consistent set than the Freedom Blue. If you're not mastering the timing of the anomaly yet, why don't you just get more raw damage from the Branch and Blade Song? That's the whole point of it. It works more like a safety net than something that is actually optimal. But if you have Freedom Blue with good stat, then definitely use it, and the Astro Voice Force set on the Lycaon. But when your Soukaku is playing with Yuzuha, you should definitely use Freedom Blue, because the overall damage would has about 15% differences to the Branch and Blade Song. It is horrendously bad. And just a side note, you could see about 10% improvement in Anomaly team when you're switching off Astra to Yuzuha, except the Nicole and Vivian team. So keep that in mind when you are playing Vivian and Nicole with Miyabi. So the first thing about the Miyabi is the way you want to utilize her enhanced basic attack. It's gonna go like this, and once it's fully charged, it's gonna release the powerful attack while consuming the stack from the top left. You could get the stack from using skill and proxying Disorder and proxying the Frostburn herself, and of course the ultimate. But the problem with this attack is that the animation took so long that it is better to just swap her off. Like when I use enhanced basic attack, you could swap to Soukaku. I would recommend you to default yourself to swing 2 times with Soukaku, then do one of those Soukaku cancel. For those who don't know the Soukaku cancel, here's the videos of how to do it. You tap and hold, and as soon as you see the quick assist is up, you wanna dash cancel into basic 3 and 4, because her basic 3 and 4 would generate a tons of energy, and on top of that, a tons of anomaly builds up, and she would finish all the moveset when you swap her off. And the right moment to swap her off is at the moment when she drag her flag, and you can just let her roll by herself while doing DPSing with Miyabi or any other members. You could also swing one, depends on your rotation, and it would be depends on how you plan the disorder, but generally you wanna prox it interchangeably between Frost and the Ice. So basically it's gonna be looking like this. You use enhanced basic attack, swap to Soukaku, then use the Soukaku cancel, and then you quick assist back into Miyabi. But if the build up of the Soukaku is not enough, you wanna swap to Lycaon to trigger the Ice anomaly. And this animation cancel tech is especially important if you are using Freedom Blue, because Freedom Blue on Soukaku would also buff the Lycaon's anomaly builds up. So the full rotation is gonna be looking like this. So you enhance basic attack with Miyabi into Soukaku cancel, swap twice into Lycaon hold skill, and you get to prox the Ice anomaly. And after you prox the Ice anomaly, you could swap back to Miyabi to do her thing. And this is how it looks like in practice. And generally you wanna use your enhanced basic attack right after you proc the Frostburn, and you would caught a lot of good player are also doing that. I'm not that much of a good player, but I also do this, and you should also do this in any other Miyabi team, whether you are playing with Yanagi, Vivian or Bernice. And this is probably the #1 mistake that a lot of you guys would do when you get yourself started with Miyabi. So as you can see here, my anomaly is almost full, and if I enhance basic attack here and swap swap off, my Frostburn wouldn't be procs, and that is a huge damage loss. So what you wanna do in this situation is that you wanna use basic attack until it procs the Frostburn first, then you use the enhanced basic attack. So if we just put everything that we just learned into a full combos, it's gonna be looking like this. So I procs the Frostburn first with the basic attack, enhance basic into Soukaku cancel, and double swap into Lycaon to procs the anomaly. And yay, we got our disorder. You will be finding yourself doing a lot of this rotation, and on top of this tip, there's also this min-max tech that's gonna improve your damage for a little bit, but it's very hard to do. So you don't have to learn it. I'm just here to tell you that this tech exists. So as you can see here, when I'm doing this, I'm actually wasting 2 stack because disorder would also generate 2 stack. So what you wanna do is you wanna burn 2 stack before you procs the disorder. But again, I don't think this is essential for you to get the 3-star in the Deadly Assault. But there are also cases where you are at the beginning of the anomaly builds up, you just do pretty much the same thing, just don't procs the ice anomaly, and swap back into Miyabi to get the Frostburn out, and then repeat the rotation. And keep in mind that this is like the most general rotation. There are a lot of scenarios that could change. So make sure that you adjust your rotation accordingly to the situation. Like when you're about to stun the enemy, but you also don't want to proc the ice anomaly, you're gonna enhance basic attack, then swap to Lycaon, and swap to Soukaku to avoid trigger the stun with Lycaon, and do the Soukaku cancel. And the reason of doing this is because you wanna avoid freezing the enemy outside of the stun window. If Lycaon froze the enemy right when he stunned the enemy, that froze wouldn't extend the stun window. And every froze you got on the enemy during the stun window is about 3 seconds, and you don't wanna lose that. And yeah, I forget to say that if you're out of energy with Lycaon, you could use hold basic as an alternative to the hold skill. It would still build up some anomaly and some days. Just think of it as a budget version. And yeah, speaking of Lycaon, you do want to touch the enemy with Lycaon after they got stunned, cause that would increase 35% damage multiplier. So generally, if you could stun the enemy with Lycaon without proxing unwanted anomaly, then you should stun with the Lycaon. But if you stun the enemy accidentally with another character, that's not a big deal. You could chain attack into Lycaon and you would still get your 35% damage multiplier. The other animation cancel tech that I would like you to learn is the enhanced basic attack into other people's ultimate, and it's especially good on the Soukaku. But generally, you want to use Soukaku ultimate outside of the stun window or at the end of the stun window because the damage is supplemental. But this is the only way to utilize Soukaku's ultimate without hindering overall damage because her animation took really long. And as you can see here, by the time when she finished her ultimate, Miyabi already finished her enhanced basic attack. She could quick assist back into Miyabi, wasting minimal amounts of time. So make sure to enhance basic with Miyabi first before you use Soukaku ultimate. And you could also apply this concept with Lycaon and even Yuzuha. And speaking of Yuzuha rotation, she's actually pretty simple. All you do is really just enhance basic attack, then swap to Yuzuha, skill quick assist into Soukaku. She is so much easier than Lycaon. And if you want a more advanced tech on the Yuzuha, it's gonna be using Yuzuha to trigger the chain attack for the Miyabi during the stun, because Miyabi chain attack actually deals a lot of anomaly. With energy or without energy are fine. But just make sure that if you're using the EBA cancel into Yuzuha, then you wanna wait Miyabi to finish her animation first before you proc the chain attack, cause you would be losing a lot of damage. And yeah, that's like all the basic to the Mono Ice team. Like, oh, it's actually that hard. Feel free to ask any question, like and sub and comment. I hope that helped. See you guys.